Good morning, everybody in Wildcat Nation.
Good morning.
Welcome to K-ROG in the morning. I'm having strawberry coffee cake.
And I am coveting your strawberry coffee cake.
I had it yesterday, so
Really
you got to get one. It is really good.
I got to the shop at 6:30 a.m. and I didn't see that there. I would have already had some of that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was delicious.
It looks amazing.
It really does. It's pretty good.
Oh, Facebook's doing that thing. It doesn't want to let me do a watch party.
Andrew made it. Sue made it.
I can't get the notification.
Yeah, Sue made it.
Sue made it. Sue's magic.
And you can buy it while supplies last at Storytime.
I had a pour over there yesterday in the afternoon with Jesse. It was his birthday. And so we tootled around and ended up there. Then I didn't sleep last night.
What time did you go? Did you go late in the afternoon?
Oh, it was probably after 2. And that is the cutoff time.
I pushed it yesterday. My last cup of coffee took me to 2 p.m.
It was
Normally
so
I'm
good, though. Honestly, I'd have been fine if I'd have drank like this much of it.
Did you get the Guatemala or the Sumatra?
I'm not sure which one she made. She probably asked and I probably answered but wasn't paying attention.
Sumatra's on heavy rotation now, right?
Yeah, we've been mixing it in a lot.
It was really good.
I'm drinking it right now.
Me too. That's what I got.
Normally, I would prefer the Guatemala, but I like to switch it up.
I like super hot coffee, and the pour over has hot and strong coffee. And then once it starts to cool off, I just stop drinking it. So, but no, I didn't sleep. So thanks, story time.
We provide the goods. What you do with them is on you. Okay.
Isn't the bummer thing about when you're trying to sleep and your brain wakes up, but you're tired, and you start rehashing, I do this anyway, the frustrating things in your life. Is that what you guys do?
Uh-huh.
You go back to that, I'm like, that real estate transaction 5 years ago, and I'll start replaying this in my head, and then I get irritated. Weird stuff. You've got your things that will irritate you for the rest of your life.
Okay,
go.
Let me tell you what I've done, because this actually helped me.
Okay.
Now, it looks kind of stupid, but
I'm excited.
So I found this, it's called acoustic sheep.
Does it count for it?
No, it is a headband.
What?
It's a headband. You wear it like a headband, but you pull it down so it's over your ears, and there are Bluetooth, little flat Bluetooth speakers that go over your ear. You can Bluetooth it to your phone so you can sleep with headphones on. And so I will turn that on, and I will put on an audiobook or something that I've already read, because I know I'm going to go to sleep and miss part of the story. So I put in books I've already read, fiction books, and I'll put it on a sleep timer because Audible has a sleep timer, so I'll put on a 30-minute sleep timer, and I'll lay down, and if my mind starts to wander, starts thinking, I'll just no, I'm listening to the story, and I'll go back and focus on the story, and then I'll go to sleep.
There you go. I do something similar, but I have AirPods, so I'll just do one.
Yeah.
So I'll lay on my right, have it in my left, and I have a lot of podcasts I listen to. Yeah. But one is called Ask N.T. Wright Anything. And so N.T. Wright is this old English gentleman. He's got that very soothing British accent, and he speaks theology. It's stuff I want to listen to, and I'll go back and listen, but I can fall asleep to him having a conversation about theology. It's just...
Here's problem.
If you're listening, and we have no reason to believe that you're not.
Well, of course.
It's possible.
Just know you put Chris Ballard to sleep.
Here's my problem.
Except for when I'm awake, and then you excite me with theology.
With theology. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I have to sleep in a tomb-like setting. That's my problem. It's got to be quiet and it's got to be dark.
Really?
Yes.
Quiet? Like no fans?
I mean, my ceiling fan's on. It doesn't make any noise.
Really?
No.
You're not an ambient noise?
No. I like anything that is like, I guess, stimulating keeps me awake. So if it's music, if it's TV, I've never fallen asleep while reading a book. I've virtually never fallen asleep in a car. It's just...
How about an airplane?
No, I haven't flown enough. I've only flown like short flights. So no, I wouldn't fall asleep in an airplane.
I fell asleep one time flying from Chicago to Springfield, which is a short flight.
That's a very short
flight.
I was out.
It is not easy for me to fall asleep.
I'd fallen asleep out from China, which would explain much of that. But I actually found some stuff I've tried a couple times. It's called KROG Brew. It's cocoa beans.
Okay.
Cacao.
Whatever. But they're ground up like
cacao.
Like grounds.
Cacao.
And so you can, I can brew it in a French press, just like I brew coffee. And I can drink that at night because it's caffeine free.
Well, that's good to know because sometimes I want coffee at night. And it was enjoyable, though. It was worth the nice cup of hot coffee with my delightful husband.
Nice.
To be awake all night. Jesse.
Happy birthday, Jesse.
Happy birthday, Jesse.
Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday. We had fun. It was a good day. It was one of those where we had several holiday events over the weekend, and so we felt like we had partied all weekend.
Now you needed a cup of coffee.
Yeah. It's like, we're tired.
Oh, that's the other podcast I fall asleep to is Stuff You Should Know podcast. That's a great little podcast.
Yeah.
I think the one I fell asleep to 2 nights ago was hangovers. So, like,
what you should know about hangovers?
Yeah.
Don't give them.
The science. Yeah, don't get one was basically the best.
I have not had a hangover. Have you guys noticed, though, you get to an age where you don't drink, but you'll have a hangover because, like, you just either ate too much food or you were up, like, too... You know what I mean? Like, you had, like, it's not truly a hangover.
Is this the time that I should confess that I've never had a hangover?
That's good. Have you not?
No, I take that back. There was one moment in my youthful days that... Anyway, we won't go into that. There's a whole story built in there.
I feel like such a bum right now. I was in a sorority in college, so.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what I did Saturday.
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
No, we went to Bass Pro Shop. Me and Dad.
Nice. Their lights are really pretty this year on the outside.
Actually, we were nice and early. There's
Yeah.
not very many people there, but I got a quarter zip sweater for $15.
That's a deal.
That is a deal. So I can top that.
Yeah.
I was driving by the outlet store last week, went in, found a flannel, not this flannel. It was $10. Take an additional 33% off.
Whoa.
It was a really nice thick flannel for $7.33.
Wow. That's a really good deal.
In fact, I wore it Sunday to preach in, so if you haven't watched last Sunday's sermon, you
see what a $7.33
watch for 30 seconds and check out the flannel.
That's good.
Although the red and green lighting probably throws off the colors a little bit.
Probably.
But yeah, I love a deal. Love a deal.
We were looking for a deal. We decided to go to the gun show.
Nice.
Gun show.
Yeah, so we drove, not that gun.
Oh, okay.
But we got over there and we're approaching, this is the Ozark Empire Fairground, and we're like, wow, that parking lot's really full.
Yeah, it's busy.
So, we pulled in, and then we're like, oh, look, there's a line at the door. And I don't know if you're familiar with Ozark Empire Fairgrounds, but, the event is in the E-Plex.
Mm-hmm.
The line of people waiting to get in stretched all the way to the barn.
Oh, my goodness.
Like the livestock ring.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah. And we're like,
No, that's a whole super spreader event.
Yeah, and there was not. I think if I in the line, this is only anecdotal. I didn't really look really carefully, but I think I saw more AR-15s in line than masks.
Probably.
That's awesome.
America.
Likely.
Yeah, I was talking to...
I'm not criticizing.
Zach
it's just
Abby.
reporting the news.
Yeah. And let you decide.
Yeah. Our church members, Zach and Abby, who they live in Rogersville, they own Eagle Armory in Springfield, but they were talking about how many first-time gun owners...
They won the Chili Cup.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, I have a beat.
They're nice people.
They're
get
very
over
nice.
it. Come on, build a bridge and get over it.
They're super nice. I didn't know they own the Eagle Armory.
Yeah, that's a great gun store in Springfield. If not to bypass any of the great shops here in Raj, but yeah,
Yeah.
But anyway, they do live in Rogersville. But they were saying how many first-time gun owners they've seen this year. It is just off the charts.
Well,
interesting.
That's a blessing and a curse.
I know, that's what I said. I wonder how many of them went and got training.
Yeah.
That was my next question.
Can I say something? Because there's a lot of people. My dad, we had guns, and we also had gun safety beat into our brains to oblivion. Do not point guns at people even if they're not loaded. Don't ever point a gun. And I'm even a little dicey about...
I can't believe you're having to say that.
Oh, but you would be surprised.
No, I know.
Because I've been in rooms with people who I would think would know better, and they're like, oh, my gun isn't loaded. And I'm like, I don't want it at my face. Stop it. And as soon as somebody does that, I will never be around them when they're armed because it's crazy.
Yeah.
Accidents happen all of the time. And even certain fake guns, like toy guns, I'm like, don't point that at me.
Treat it as it's
don't
real.
point that, yeah.
That was my deal with my kids. Treat it as if it's real. Practice.
But yeah, don't do it.
I'm with Warren. I was the same way. My dad was in law enforcement the whole time I was growing up, and there were guns everywhere. And there'd be like, I grew up in the 70s, and most of I graduated high school in 1989, so the end table at our house usually had a revolver and an ashtray on it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
that's
70s.
standard
you just
issue.
Described the 70s right there. I can picture the carpet and the end table.
Standard issue.
Yeah.
And the wood paneling behind you.
Yeah, and the couch.
Oh, yes.
That couch.
Yeah, harvest gold and
Uh-huh.
some avocado green mixed in.
A little bit. But yeah, I mean, that was the thing is we never had a gun accident because we knew you don't touch the guns.
That I knew that was the way that if I was going to get beat to
You
death.
get a whooping.
Oh yeah. If you were not practicing gun safety, that was the way you were going to. Our dad was not the enforcer. He kind of faked it like he was. Our mom was. But if you messed around with guns,
He stepped in there.
yeah, because he was a prosecutor and an attorney, and so I mean, he saw things that made all of that very serious.
I bet.
So,
Wow.
yep.
I think it always surprises people when they come out to my house to shoot because we've got a little range.
Yeah.
There. Because I don't get like super serious a lot, but people that have never been out to my gun range before, it's okay, stand there and listen to me talk for 5 minutes about what you will and will not do while you're here.
That's why I don't go to public gun ranges.
Yeah.
I went one time, and I was like, nope.
Yeah. The landowner that I found out in the last couple of years with my boys, he has us actually sign a release.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of, we're just getting to know him, so he's like, let's do this.
And still, it will be, within the first 30 minutes, that somebody will have a pistol and they'll be like, I'm like, put it down.
Yes.
Put it down now. I'm like, just don't.
Yeah, it just don't. And so if you are deciding to be a gun owner for the first time,
Maybe some of you are getting a gun for Christmas, so hopefully this helps.
hey, call Will and talk to Will about some gun safety, or go to somebody in your family that can teach you gun safety, or go take a class.
Go take a class. That's the best thing. Go take a class if you've not been around guns a lot. Nobody's trained you. Just do it. Don't be prideful. Go take a class.
No, it is important.
Yeah, you'll actually enjoy it.
And there's a lot of good places where you can get some decent training. I just organized a group actually a month or so ago, a couple months ago, and we went down to David Webster's place down between Ozark and Sparto.
Yeah,
it's just it's his house. He's got a trailer, classroom. Walks you through all the concealed carry stuff. He's got multiple different classes. You can take a concealed carry class. That's what I put together for folks. And then you can do a gun safety. You can do a tactical class with him. He's got a small range there where you're qualifying. But yeah, don't just buy a gun and think
it's cool. It's a toy. It's not. Oh, it's not a toy. It's
First
oh my gosh.
You can't hit anything.
Yeah.
It's harder to hit things with a pistol than people think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing to watch people, from 7 yards just miss dramatically until you're used to firing that weapon and knowing what it's going to hit. So, and then you hit something you don't intend to hit, and you call me because you're in big trouble.
Big, huge trouble. And that's our PSA for the day.
Yeah,
it's gun safety.
Gun safety.
Which, I mean, it's interesting when you talk to people that didn't or grew up in like really urban areas where they were not around guns. Jesse has a cousin that was born in England, and then I talked to his wife, and you could tell talking about guns visibly scared her because she had never been around them. So, I mean, it's a different deal. And
we forget how cultural this is.
It is a cultural thing
this
here.
Conversation is very normal for us, but
some people are like, they're crazy.
Yeah.
It's like if you're new to the culture,
know the half of it.
educate yourself.
Oh, we are crazy, but not because we're talking about guns.
Yeah, we're pretty crazy. But so it's important. And I mean, it's the last thing you want is an accident like that.
Yeah.
Smo Jeff, whose name might be Joe Smith, I don't know.
I don't know.
Says the gun safety class was mandatory when he was in junior high school, and I do remember taking a class in junior.
Really?
We didn't do gun safety. We did have
I think that's a good idea.
Education class that was a part of our, I believe, 8th grade PE class, which was nice. I still have the little orange card.
I wish I could find my little orange card.
I have it
because I don't know what my conservation
number is.
They can help you. You can
look it up.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. I need to get that done. That was in Wichita.
Okay.
So
that's great. And I kind of lament the fact that my boys had to take it online.
Yeah,
because it's good and the information's there, but some of the things that you actually did, I can't speak, in the class, I think were probably more helpful than an online setup. But I think you can still take the class in person, not in 2020,
right?
But you can sign up for different spots with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Man, my articulators are not functioning.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That happens.
So I guess you got any parties coming up? Anything we're doing the Rogersville events are kind of done for the
Yeah,
year.
everybody's kind of on hiatus.
Evolution and Arts and Dance just had their dinner theater last weekend over at Story Church, and
that's really cool.
Oh, it was fantastic! It was a dinner
I saw
theater
pictures.
this year.
It looked neat.
It was really good. So hopefully we can host that again next year.
I know Tom and Michelle would love if we had some sort of dinner theater situation in Rogersville.
Yeah, and I think Tom got to see how the honor company over there can be set up because they built a stage out from our stage, and we still had room. I think there were 9 tables. Mm-hmm. So that's actually a pretty nice little venue for a play. Or
my mom would make me do plays in Houston. We were lucky. We had someone who had graduated there and had gone off to teach theater, at, I don't know.
So a legitimate
theater person. Her name was Julie Impey. And she'd come back every summer and do a small production. And my mom's like, you're doing it. Because my mom liked to do it. And so did a lot of people. It was great.
Aren't you glad?
Yes.
I was up on stage from probably, 3 or 4 on. And I think about what that has done for me going forward. Just being comfortable in front of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huge confidence.
Did every musical in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for you. Evie and I were talking about this in the car this morning. She said, it makes me nervous when I get up and sing in front of people. I think she was talking about a Christmas production last year. And I'm like, you keep doing it and you get less nervous. Those nerves really never go away. But then later in life, when you're speaking in public or a room of people, you've got this background in it.
Yeah.
It looked really good. The costumes were fun. I saw pictures.
By far the best production they've done. And I think it was just the setting and the concept changed. And
that's cool.
It was up close and personal. And anyway, that was a good event.
That's very good.
What else? Is there anything else going on? We've kind of done the Christmas deal in town.
What are we doing? I don't know. I feel like there's probably some. I think we're going to start Coffee at the Post. I don't know if it would be the first Thursday in January. I haven't looked at the calendar. Probably the next one would be my guess. Just because I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days and amongst the holidays.
I had half a mind to say, let's just do it at Storytime this Thursday. I've been missing everybody.
Have you been missing everybody? Yeah. We can do that.
I mean,
yeah.
Sure.
There are rules.
You know what?
Coffee at the Post is at Storytime Coffee this Thursday morning.
I'd like to put a couple people together, and I don't know who they are, but I think that one of the restaurants in town, maybe Grub and Pub, or I don't know, they might actually work out the best. But I'd like to put them together with some short order cook type person that could come in the mornings and do a diner style breakfast, and then shut it down and. Then the other
basically use their facility.
Why are they? I know.
Nobody wants to, I don't think, invest in a full diner-style restaurant in Rogersville. But you've got these commercial kitchens with tables, also dark from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. that somebody could come in and sublease and do a little.
The concept can work.
I think so.
There was a restaurant. I lived in Dexter, Missouri, down Highway 60 in the Boot Hill. For 6 years, and it was a restaurant. It had changed hands several times, but somebody bought it. They had full-time jobs throughout the week, but they opened it up on the weekends, and it was called Weekenders.
Yeah,
imagine that. and they opened it up, and it was Friday night, Saturday, and that was it. And in those 2 days, they made a killing. They're like, why would we open this Monday through Friday when we can concentrate it all on those 2 days? Actually, I said it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all 3 days.
I think that'd be kind of interesting. You've got one restaurant that operates it in the morning, and then another restaurant that operates it.
And they could even do that with Cozumel. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, my goodness,
anywhere that's got a grill,
a good breakfast burrito. I'm befuddled. I don't know if that's a word about why we don't have a place to go.
He's over eating strawberry coffee cake. You're talking about breakfast burritos. I'm dying here.
I know.
My 5:30 breakfast was a long time ago.
Well, and I get the problem because I mean if. There's no move-in space available, so I see what you're saying. Lease a space that's existing, and to build a restaurant. I mean, I'm just going to guess $500,000 is my guess to build a small one. And if you want a small one ground up to get the land and build it, and if you want to get a big one, it's $1 million. Is about what it is. I think to build a big restaurant like that Flat Creek development in Republic. Of course, it was. Flat Creek and it was the shopping center around it are all connected.
They did a great job.
I want to say it was like
a couple mil.
Yeah. I can't remember the number. I heard it at one point, but I forgot it. It was between $1 million and $2 million. That development,
close to 2 would be my guess.
And that is a very large, nice restaurant. But I mean, if you think about that, I mean, to build anything right now, you're looking at $100 a square foot, and your restaurant's going to be different. Your kitchen equipment, those hoods. $12,000 is what I think those cost.
That's where you start.
Just the hood.
That's where you start. Yeah,
just the hood that you would need for a griddle type deal. Yeah. So I mean, it's a real.
And you got to get a grease interceptor put into the ground,
and you got to have fire suppression because of the grease. Yeah,
it gets very expensive.
So I understand why it hasn't happened in Rogersville. I don't understand why somebody hasn't come up with a creative solution. Believe me, this is tooled around in my head a lot. And if I had another body double that could do things.
For sure. Yeah. No, yeah. I promise you, a breakfast joint in this town would make some serious bank.
Well, I think this would be a great way for somebody to try it, to start. Even if they just did Thursday, Friday, weekends, whatever.
I think that's a great idea.
Work out a deal with, what's his name that runs Grab and Pub?
I don't know his name.
I used to. Devin?
I really don't know. I've seen it, but I have no knowledge.
For example, though,
that would be.
Well, yeah, because there's not too many. Like Sue's Kitchen couldn't accommodate that because she doesn't have the grease stuff because she's strictly baking.
Right.
But
and most people don't understand that distinction.
It's a very specific distinction. Yes, if you have flammable vapors, I think it's called. So grease coming off of anything.
It's more now than just the water sprinkler system.
It's a whole new world. Yeah. So, yeah. And so there's probably, I'd say Cozumel has it and Grub and Pub. And that's probably, other than the fast food places.
Sky Dragon would have it.
Sky Dragon would,
but I'm not sure they have the cooking surface, that griddle that you need to
They probably don't. They probably use woks.
Yep.
Which you can make scrambled eggs in a wok.
And or deep fryers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of deep fryers.
So, I mean, that's all we're working with as far as the right kitchen.
We're trying to help you here. We've got a business plan.
We're brainstorming.
I can't do another one.
I've been prohibited from starting a new business. K-ROG kind of slipped under the radar because it wasn't supposed to be a business. I didn't mean to start a business here. It was an accident.
It's Rona.
It's not a business.
Blame it on the Rona.
It's not a business. It's a charity.
It's not a business. It's a charity.
It's not a nonprofit, but it's definitely a charity.
I've been prohibited from starting new businesses.
I think in the modern restaurant world, and I'm not an expert, things are going to have to change because COVID and people's habits are, in my opinion, the restaurant industry will forever be changed because of this.
Restaurant, movies, business, churches,
everything.
Had to rethink. But it's interesting because, some things are going great. One of my industries, the martial arts industry, is just like, what? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
And so we've not been sparring, but we're looking at these jiu-jitsu gyms that are rolling around on the ground with each other. Why can't we?
They haven't stopped.
Why can't we stay? We're not chest to chest, face to face when we're sparring. We've even got.
They're doing wrestling and stuff.
Yeah. I think after the first year, we're going to go back to putting pads on and kicking each other.
But even those industries did adapt. I can't tell you how many soccer clubs, martial arts studios, where they found a way to go online, just as we are, and say, here's the form. I'm sure that was awful, but I can't stand up and do soccer. That's what I would prefer. Here's the form, and they would have somebody demonstrate it, do it. They can do it interactively, but it's been amazing to watch how many different.
What we did.
Yeah, you had to, and restaurants have figured out how to do order online and grab and go.
The restaurant stuff is getting a little silly.
My gosh!
The dining room's closed. We have to eat outside, so we put in an enclosure outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, those wedding tents.
Yeah.
With the fake windows in them and everything.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And thousands of dollars spent on those.
Why? Just open the freaking dining room.
I know.
It's the same thing. I was at Vantage Rooftop Bar downtown Springfield, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful place off of the Vandevort. And it has one of those outside igloos, which they've always had those, to be fair. When their patio's not open that overlooks downtown, they've had these igloos, you have a heater in during the winter so you can still be outside. I'm like, this is like COVID petri dish. And I felt bad. I mean, I kind of felt bad because like the server would come in and, we're all there like, hi, it's
how are you?
Yeah.
It's absurd. So there's so many little instances where your ideologies or your worldviews get crossed up. I'm supposed to hate this, but now I've got to do this, and they don't
really
work together.
It's
like
weird
this
deal.
This spaz moment where you don't know how to draw your lines anymore.
Yeah,
and it's because we keep making these absurd rules that just cross up what it was intended to fix anyway.
I was going to say, come on, Chris. Now we know why people get their worldviews crossed out. Because they're not reading the book.
Well, that's
There's a book.
There's a book. Worldview. It's called a biblical worldview, and I'm telling you, it's a safe bet.
It is a safe bet. And suddenly, I mean, if you run everything through that lens, you go, okay, I got some straight lines that I know how to run this.
I wouldn't call them straight, but visible.
Visible.
And they're helpful.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's good.
All analogies break down. So, you want to talk about the Time Person of the Year?
Not really.
I kept seeing this post.
So we'll
I kept seeing this post. I did. It cracked me up because I kept seeing people put medical workers.
Yes.
Here, I fixed this for you.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Xi Jinping inserted in the middle of them. That was pretty funny.
Those have all been really fun for me, but I like to fact check things. Independent fact checking.
Yes.
I don't trust the fact checking sites. But anyway, so it's helpful to go back and look and say, okay, every president-elect has been.
That's what was going to be my question. Is that the case?
Go back every 4 years. So,
I kind of assumed.
However, this is the first time the VP has been thrown in with.
Well, because we know she's ruling the president.
Things that make you go.
She's a lady.
You remember Arsenio Hall, yeah.
She's a lady.
Well,
so,
and I started to go there, but still.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I can go there because I'm a lady. So
I can go there because I'm a man.
Yeah, it's true. So there
are no more distinctions, don't you know?
No, there are no more distinctions. Yeah, right. So anyway,
sorry, I'm off. I'm way off the rails.
That's fine. I don't know what to think about that. I wondered that too, though, if that was always the case with Time Magazine. And I'm like, who reads Time Magazine? Like, I haven't seen one in a doctor's office in a long time.
I'm pretty sure that do you call it an award? What do you call it? That distinction, that honor,
I don't know.
Is the one time people tune into Time once a year.
That's the only time I hear about it. Yeah, that's the only thing I hear about it.
Yeah,
I really don't even know what's in it anymore. I have no clue.
Don't know.
I mean, to be fair, magazines.
Thing in everything else. It's just
the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, most magazines, I still get usually a magazine a year, and it's hard for me to, look at it. It is, and it's because you see so much information on your phone.
Yeah.
So I think about this a lot.
Magazines anymore.
You get a lot of parent guilt now. Well, you don't need to be on your phone at your house with your kids. Okay, so there's this like weird misconception that before cell phones, parents were
paying attention to
their children.
I grew up in the 80s. I didn't get paid attention to it at all.
No, I never saw my parents.
Home Alone.
Yeah, so that to me is a big. And I'm not saying it's great to sit in front of your kids and stare at your phone all day long and ignore them. But before phones, parents were not purposefully interacting with their child 24/7. They were. Well, and I remember your grandparents, you'd go to their house and your grandpa'd be reading a newspaper. You'd be outside doing things a lot of the time. Grandma's in the kitchen, whatever's going on. Grandma's reading a book. It wasn't like...
Sounds like a John Anderson song, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know. That is funny. Sorry. So, I get this guilt sometimes when I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm like, I'm ignoring my children. I'm like, they're ignoring me. They'll let me know if they want something.
I tried to have a conversation. They weren't interested.
They didn't want to talk.
Well, Jack's our third. He probably has gotten the least attention of any of our kids.
Third kid's like a wolf.
And we call him the cactus child because you basically water him once a month.
Yeah.
It's fine. He's coming up great. He's turned out
real nice.
Real nice Clark.
Yeah, I was a third, and I was free range.
Yeah.
What were you?
I'm the oldest.
That makes sense.
And my younger sister is 8 years younger than I am. And by the way, if you really, really, really want to irritate my sister, this has happened. Ask her who's older, me or her. It really gets under her skin.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It bothered me
want to irritate your sister.
Yeah, you're not an 8-year younger female. being asked if you're
almost
50-year-old brother.
Because there's an age gap. That makes more sense.
I was totally missing that. Like, couldn't relate.
That makes more sense.
Couldn't relate.
No, that was it.
Yeah.
It's really funny if you stand there and watch somebody ask, so who's older? And just watch them just go, that's the look, right?
Did that old man? Really?
Yeah.
I think it's better for her since I've grown the gray beard.
I got the gray beard going. That helps.
It's better for her.
It's become far more clear.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well,
We've about dug up all this soil.
All right.
Oh, you know something that's going on I need to talk about?
What's that?
My deal I'm having at your place in January.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what do we do? What? Yeah, we do.
News to me. Groundbreaking.
19th? Is that it? What day did I pick?
I think that's the day we put on the
That's
calendar.
the day we put on the calendar. Tuesday, January 19th, 6:30 at the Heritage Post. I'm going to do a little free talk. Like I don't do enough free talk. But I'm going to do a in-person free talk. I'm going to talk about estate planning.
Nice.
And it's not going to be boring, I promise. It'll be entertaining. I've done this presentation.
Now I kind of want to go.
Well, you'll be there. I've done this presentation like for 3 years, at least once a month, and I repeatedly get feedback. That was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And
That's cool.
I'm only going to talk for like half an hour. It won't be that long. It'll be fun.
Shorter than this program.
And we'll have a good time. And everybody should come. There's nobody listening to this or nobody that you know who's listening to this who knows somebody that shouldn't come. Parents of young children, newly married with young children, should come to this.
Definitely young, newly married.
Yeah, you should come because you're going to be able
start
to.
Now.
You're not going to have to spend thousands of dollars on an estate plan. I've got a way to make it cheap.
Yep.
Your aunt, I think, just gave me something.
Yeah. I talked to Nancy
if they
over the
did
weekend.
nothing more than just get a plan in place.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
And so traditional estate planning, you spend a lot of money, you spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, and 99% of the time it's completely wasted. And I get that.
Yeah.
This plan, it will not be wasted. I completely rethought about estate planning, how it should happen, how it should work, and I've got a plan that you will not waste your time and money on this. This plan will work and it'll be a living document.
Nice.
Yes.
Yep. I'm really happy about it. So
that's cool.
There's an event, I don't think I've got it on Rogersville Residence yet, but it's on K-ROG. But if you want to sign up, we've limited the numbers because of COVID.
Yeah.
So there's a limited number of seats. But yeah, please sign up and come see me.
Well, 30 minutes is, anybody can spend that.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like doing is when I show up at something like that and they talk at you for an hour to an hour and a half.
Right.
Oh, I do not like that.
No, we're gonna cut straight to the meat and get it done and get in and get out and have a good time.
There you go.
That's very good.
January 19th, right here in Rogersville.
Very
cool. And I'm not rolling this product out to anybody outside of Rogersville.
Mm-hmm.
Except for your aunt.
Except for my aunt. Well, she heard it on KROG.
Yeah, she heard it on KROG. So our listening audience.
And I believe she had I think a bad experience with a previous situation. I won't talk much about it, but it's like so. Take advantage of the good things that are offered to you.
And we're turning her plan around in about 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
All it's going to take to get it done.
That's very good.
2021. So I spoke with John Wilson from Light the Way yesterday.
Yeah.
So, we had to cancel last year's event.
Yes.
So he's already making plans, talking to Greene County, talking to the city. So I can't start divulging information yet, but let's just say after the conversation, I was very excited for 2021's Light the Way. That's
exciting. That was a really neat thing first year, and then the concert they brought.
Yeah, Lauren Daigle.
Was amazing. Yeah, I guess she's getting a little heat right now for something that happened in New Orleans. Right, I don't know.
Why? Because she had a concert?
Well, I read something very briefly, and I don't know the facts involved, so I probably shouldn't comment on it. But I think she was kind of out and about.
Stopped us before.
I know, and I think the crowd kind of encouraged her to sing, and so she sang with them and left. I don't think it was a long, drawn-out deal. I think it was kind of just a spontaneous thing, and I believe
we got to put that to an end. That can't be happening.
Yeah, I believe the mayor of New Orleans got on to her. I mean, I believe it was a thing.
Spontaneous joy. We will not stand for that.
You're not going to have fun.
Potential worship.
Yeah.
There's a potential worship might have occurred.
Yeah. Oh, don't now. Listen, we don't have time.
No, we don't.
To get into this.
Yeah, that's a different episode.
Oh wow.
So from today, two ideas for new podcasts have come to mind.
Okay.
So
gun safety.
No. Well, that might be. So I think I want to start one called the Unoffendable Podcast. It's just like everybody is out there trying to be offended.
That offends me.
We are unoffendable.
I have tried to come
to be
up with what something that has truly offended me lately. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's things that have made me mad and that I've been sad about, but offended?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure the last time I was offended by something.
Yep.
I don't know.
And the other one will be the Uninformed Opinion podcast.
The
uninformed.
I think you said unformed.
I like to call that confidently wrong.
Confidently wrong. Uninformed opinion.
That's my podcast right there. Confidently wrong.
There's a lot of confidently wrong people floating around.
That's good.
We use that word daily in the office. That term.
All
right. Well,
places to go, people to be.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, Raj.